Today I want to tell you a story that took place in an airport in a small town in Michigan. This call that came through a cell phone was a call for healing, a call for ending pain. That's the story for today on Susan's Little Cup of Magic. It's been a couple weeks since I've been on here to tell you a story. And the reason why is, and if you don't know already, I have moved over to Substack. So I'm going to point somewhere here on the screen. You're going to see a little bubble come up about it. Drop down in the show notes and come on over and subscribe. There's a lot of cool, fun things going on that platform. But because of that transition and because of following my intuition and shutting down a few unnecessary platforms, it's taken me a minute to get back into the flow. But back in the flow we go. But before I get into the story, let me tell you a little bit about myself in case this is the first time you are ever coming to my channel. I'm Susan of Susan's Little Cup of Magic. I am an intuitive coach and a Holy Fire Reiki master. I work with other online business entrepreneurs like me who are in the healing arts. And that might mean anything from reading cards to doing energy healing like me, or all of the in-between. I, on this channel, love to talk about psychic abilities, how we can enhance them, turn up the volume on our intuition by using things like oracle cards and energy healing. So I'm on my purple chair, I've got my cup, I've got a blanket. Let's cozy up for this story. This was around 2021. I was home for a wedding, specifically my sister's. As a part of being there, I extended my trip a little longer to visit a friend in the States. So my family went back a couple of days or a good week before I did. This was the day I was set to come back home, and I'm in the airport waiting for my plane when I get a phone call. And it was a call from my husband. And he said, "We need your help." So immediately I'm, of course, naturally on alert. And it seemed to be that my daughter was having some trouble. She had just taken a vaccination and it was causing some pain in her arm. What was happening was she couldn't get comfortable enough to go to sleep. So he wanted me to administer Reiki. Now, before I go any further, in case it's the first time you've ever heard Reiki or you don't know much about it, I want to tell you just a little bit about it, and then we'll get back into the story. I am a Holy Fire Reiki master healer. Reiki is a universal life force energy source, healing source. Or what this does, this energy healing, it comes through me and to the specific point that needs healing. Most people know Reiki through the laying of the hands, and that is the traditional and first way that humanity learned about Reiki, and this is called Usui. I also use this as a modality as well. Holy Fire has made it so that you don't need to even be in the same room with someone. This is also called distant healing. Okay, now that we're all up to speed, and I'll say more about this after I tell you the story. So my husband, who has also used Reiki, or I've been using Reiki on, was calling for this. She was not able to sleep. She couldn't put her arm in any position where she could fall asleep. I'm sitting in the airport, not quite through the gate yet. I was waiting for there were some delays or something going on. There was always delays in this little 2-gate airport. But I went and sat down and I got a download on how to do this. Now, my husband isn't a practitioner, but because we are connected and I have given him Reiki 1, I instructed him to do this. I used his hands in this case and asked him to put his hand above the pain point and below, just nearby, and also put me on speaker. And I started to conduct a breathing session with all of 3 of us breathing together. All of this wasn't necessary, but I knew it would put us in sync. And what I mean is, it's not necessary to go through all of these things that I did. I just intuitively followed that instinct. I knew the hand laying would make her feel more comfortable, and the three of us breathing together, which is something you should do in Reiki healing, would put us in sync. I'm a good 6 hours time difference than them. I'm in an airport and they're back at home in our house. I started the process of inviting the healing, and we did this for maybe 5 minutes, if that. And then I checked in, and just like that, the pain was gone and she went immediately to sleep. My husband left the room to talk to me, and when he went back in, she was cold out. This is the magic of energy healing. It's also the magic of a love connection and intention and your intuition. I want to tell you a little bit about my background with Reiki, because it has been a journey since I moved to the Netherlands. I have found this energy healing to be just so uplifting and miraculous. And I don't believe you need to have Reiki. I like using Reiki. I know that I could give you Reiki if you want, but I believe we all have this power. What brought me to Reiki was back in 2010, 2011, when I first was living here in the Netherlands. I had a lot of anxieties and issues, and I was going and seeing, who is now my sister-in-law, for some other healing modality for my meridian. So she was like getting them clear and free of any stagnant energy, but also to help my emotional balance. It was amazing. She used a laser beam, and it went through the computer and the whole thing. Then in 2012, when I became pregnant with my daughter, she said, well, it's not really safe to use a laser method. So we moved to Reiki. That whole process opened up a doorway for me. And later, my sister-in-law would give me Yasui Reiki 1. Reiki 1 allows you to use the energy healing on plants, animals, and direct family members. So you're really only in your environment, which is amazing. Reiki 2, you can start to use it as a practitioner and build it into your wellness business. And Reiki 3, which is what I am, is a healer master. In this sense, I'm not just a practitioner, I'm a teacher, and I can initiate new practitioners into Reiki. Reiki, and specifically Holy Fire, is such an intuitive process. Holy Fire came around 2015 through another Reiki master. And I'll put all this information in the show notes. But he brought this new level of Reiki, which is profound, but we don't need the hands anymore because Holy Fire doesn't even work through me. It's just upon invitation. I have more stories that are miraculous in nature of energy healing that I want to share with you on this channel for our weekly woo-woo story. So I wonder how this is landing for you. Are you a practitioner of energy healing? Have you ever used Reiki? Reiki energy healing gives so many things. I could barely get it into this video, but I have to say the fact that it's intuitive and it does heal. It heals so many things. Gives it a nice complement to what I'm already doing with my intuitive work. Anyway, that's it for today's story. Please drop down in the comments. Let me know how this finds you, and subscribe. And I'll be back next week. Bye.